From Politico, this is big stuff. This is working class voters think Democrats are woke and weak. New research finds. I love this story. See, I had appeared on Jesse Waters' program, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, and y'all noticed because I wasn't here to open the show for the first 20 minutes. On his show, I said Donald Trump has been great for the working class, and we can see this reflected in the polls. But Democrats don't stand for anything. I couldn't tell you what their actual policies are. I got criticized by progressive groups and liberals. Probably I'm not going to name a bunch of them, but they're saying Tim Pool is praising Donald Trump and he's licking his boots, all this other stupid nonsense. Well, the funny thing is, this group called Deciding to Win, a Democrat group, said the exact same thing about a week later. Democrats stand for nothing. The American people, including those in the Democratic Party, do not trust them on core issues and do not believe they represent the issues the American people actually want to see. And there's some really, really great data points in this, where we have, let me see if I can find, we don't want to do that. We want to scroll down. There's two really great polls here showing, this one's fantastic. The Democratic Party's priorities from 2012 to 2024. We saw a 1,130% increase in the terms white, black, Latino, and Latina. We saw a 1,044% increase for LGBTQI+. 1,323% increase for the word hate. We saw 766% increase for reproductive. Here's where it gets real fun. 47% decline in the use of the word job or jobs. Economy minus 50. Middle class minus 79. Fathers minus 100. Man and men minus 51. Responsibility minus 83. Amazing. When we scroll down to what Democratic voters actually want, you'll see we have been right the whole time. This one's absolutely fascinating. Let's go to... I don't want just the swing voters, which they were showing.
This has climate change stuff so high.
It does.
I noticed.
So it says voters trust Republicans more on most of the issues they see as top priorities. On the cost of living, the most important issue with 85% saying yes, net trust in Democrats is -6. The economy -9. On inflation, -10. Taxes, -9. Healthcare, they get a +5. Political division is neutral. The budget deficit, -10. National security, -9. Immigration, -11. Crime, -11. Border security, -17. International trade, -10. They only really win on mental health. So the voters want the cost of living to be addressed, the economy to improve, inflation to go down, and cuts to their taxes. The biggest issues, all money in my pocket, and they hate Democrats on those issues. And if you say this, they'll call you right wing.
Yeah. I mean,
how absolutely insane. I got to tell this story. Shout out to Ken. I know the boys in the poker room are going to hear this. Ken's my liberal best friend in the poker room. He's an old man, but we get along. Although he was yelling at me. He asked me, could you make a show where you go in the middle and try and get everybody to talk together? And I said, oh, my show is the middle. And his eyes lit up. He goes, you in the middle? And I was like, I'm a former Democrat who donated the max to Democrats in 2020 against Donald Trump. On my show in 2020, saying explicitly, I am not supporting Donald Trump, and I am giving money to Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang. And then I had a choice between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and I said Trump is going to be better on these issues. So, yeah, we're in the middle. But the problem is Democrats don't have causes. They have hatred for Donald Trump.
Yep.
If you are saying, I want the economy to improve and immigration is out of control, you are right wing. Okay, so the right is, here's the right wing in America. We like this country, we want it to be better in any way we can. And here's the left. Donald Trump is bad.
And
so okay.
When they're not saying Donald Trump is bad, they're saying the United States is bad. They're saying that the U.S. is an imperial abomination, that it's full of warmongers, and we have too many billionaires, et cetera, et cetera. The point is they just hate the United States.
Shelley, I feel like you deal with the id of the Democrat Party a lot in Portland. What do you think about how these issues manifest over there and what they care about? And I don't know, is there a division among far leftists and more centrist Democrat in that area and how that plays out?
Okay, I am very black-pilled on all of this. So just remember that when I say this. I believe that the voters where I live are with these issues. They're with the far left. You know, they're going to vote. If you say that the climate is going to kill us all, they're like, yes, and we're gonna vote for you. They're not the Democrat voters that are unhappy with the Democrat Party. They don't think they're weak, but they're also communists. So they're not actually Democrats. And
so here's the question. Let's say this assessment they've done, deciding to win. These are Democrats saying outright, guys, drop the identity issues and let's talk about the working class. How the am I going to vote for these people? You think I'll ever trust Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer? These scumbags flip-flopped on their opinions to fit in with the AOCs. And AOC's not dropping this stuff. You can come out and scream in the faces of liberals and Democrats and tell them, please stop. They don't care. And so, to my best friend in the poker room, Ken, he often asks me these great questions, and he's a good guy. But the thing is, the only clips he ever sees are the ones where liberals are trying to rage bait. And so he sees them, he gets all flustered and angry because we say things like Democrats are evil for this reason. And he's not seeing us talk about these issues where we're like, the Democratic Party represents nothing. You know, you can complain about Donald Trump all day and night, and I welcome it. That was always allowed. But who is actually dealing with these issues? The Republicans. The Republicans are the only ones that are actually talking about immigration and the economy, and they're not doing that well. Donald Trump is not doing well on these issues, but he's still better than Democrats.
Okay. A few years ago, I took a door knocking job to supplement my reporting job. And we were approaching people who were center left, center, and center right. And I was the interviewer. So I'd talk about the candidate, but I wanted to find out what they were thinking. And I'm talking about not far left voters in Oregon. And I went to all kinds of different cities, knocked on 10,000 doors. And the minute you said that the person was a Republican, they brought up abortion. But I'm going to lose my rights to abortion. Like, I don't know how you get through to people like that. It was all different ages.
So my response would be, this would be a great video. We should do it. You knock on the door and they say abortion. I say, okay, well, what if I could guarantee you, can I put you down for 5 abortions? I'm not, this is not a joke. If we negotiated with the Republicans and said all women will get a guaranteed at least 3, it's 3 abortions, a good amount for you, that you can get at least 3. So here's the point. What we don't want is serial abortion, reckless stuff, but you're not going to get more than 3 abortions, right? It's 5. 5.
They want unlimited.
So I will tell you what we figured out from my interviewing. You're constantly changing the message. Was in the state of Oregon, it is enshrined in our state constitution that you can have an abortion up through the 9th month. And the only thing that would change that is a 2/3, a quorum vote of the House and the Senate, and the governor would have to sign off on that. So we started reminding people of that, and it didn't make a difference.
I got a better idea. Go door to door and say we want mandatory abortion. And then when they say, I think it should be a choice, you'd be like, oh, what about the climate? This planet is dying, and you think you should be allowed to burn it down? No. We are so pro-abortion, you don't get a choice. All abortions.
They'd like that. I think they'd like that.
They just go like, I'm going to be honest, it'll please Moloch.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, whoops.
For real.
I thought I was pulling a fast one on you.
Well, and just remember, I wasn't even talking to the progressives. I was talking to the center left, center, and the center right.
See, this is what the right needs to be doing more of. Someone needs to make a new political party called the Moloch Party, and you go to Oregon and just say like, we're fighting for reproductive rights for women. You know, they'll be like, what's the Moloch party? And you'll be like, abortion is our biggest issue. We're for it. We think women should absolutely have the right. We think actually in certain circumstances, women shouldn't actually choose at all. The state should just abort the baby. You know, sometimes you got to do it.
They would
You know what I mean?
win.
Well, Moloch demands it. And if the quota isn't there, then we're going to have to make it happen. But you're not against abortion, are you? This is the game they play. You say, we think some women should have to get an abortion whether they want to or not. And say, that's wrong. But so you're against abortion? They'll be like, no, you're pro-life. We're anti-life. We're the Moloch party. The beast demands it.
That exists right now.
I honestly, I bet there is the Moloch party.
I mean, I don't know that you're going to get a lot of people that are going to say, well, I'll take a limit on my abortions. The idea that is in people's head is, well, what if I need it? What if I need it? As if you can
Well, we guarantee you at least one.
guarantee one.
So here's what we'll do. Here's the game. Everybody gets one, right? Do you think you'll need 2 abortions? Okay, I'll compromise. You can have 2 abortions. Is that enough?
The Shout My Abortion crowd will not want it.
They need more than 2?
They love doing it.
I got to be honest.
Celebrate it.
This is actually, I think,
Yes.
a good survey to do. I think it would be interesting to go door to door in a Democrat area and ask women, and in all seriousness, say we're doing surveys on pro-life and pro-choice, and we're are you in favor of a legal abortion with with no restrictions, or do you believe there should be some restrictions? And when they say I don't think there should be any restrictions, women's choice, be like, on average, how many abortions have you gotten, or do you think you will need? And it's not a joke. It's not meant to be offensive. We're honestly trying to figure this out. See what are women going to say? What is the average woman going to say?
I imagine some will say 0, but they still like the idea of wanting to have one if they need one, as many as they want. And there'll be others who say
As if
dozens.
you could accidentally get pregnant.
They don't understand how any of this works.
Accidentally.
Whoops. He fell, and next thing you know.
Sat in a toilet seat in the men's room.
Yeah.
Just happened.
So many times.
Oops. I do think it would be interesting if someone actually surveyed Democrat women and asked them, on average, how many abortions have they had, or do they think they will need to have?
I think
I think they're all going to say 0.
it's a bit fascinating that that's one of the top issues that this lady was concerned with, particularly given that the Trump administration is one of the most pro-choice Republican administrations that we've had in the past, 50 plus years. One of the most stark things that I think really embodies this is how I believe there was a case, I think it was in Texas, about how they wanted to change how the abortion pill was prescribed and being mailed to people. And then they decided to have the case dropped instead of adjudicating it. I think that, and then I think also overturning Roe v. Wade, sending it back to the states, but then the president saying that he wants to let the states decide is at best a neutral position on it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.